The Gambling Files podcast presents Desert Island Discs with your host, John Bruford. Welcome to another episode of Desert Island Discs, the gambling industry's answer to a question that was never asked. I'm your host, John Bruford. Just in case it's not obvious to anybody watching the video, I don't have an iron. So the format of Desert Island Discs is very simple. It bears no relation to anything the BBC have ever done. Our guests are big cheeses from the gambling industry. They are stranded on a tropical island, not a desert island, and that's a key distinction. They have to choose some stuff to keep them sane while they're all on their own. They get to choose 3 albums, 3 books, 3 movies, 1 song, not on the albums, 1 pet, 1 object, 1 dessert, and 2 pieces of advice. 1 from their older self to their younger self, and 1 from their younger self to their older self, and they get to choose when they receive this advice. Very simple. Now, our guest this episode is a bit of a legend in the industry, who certainly people on the publishing side will know from her tenure at TCS John Huxley. And speaking as somebody that has benefited from her professionalism, one of the best people at their job I've ever met in any industry. And I'm not just buttering up because she agreed to be on this podcast. So I'd like to introduce Tracy Cohen, who would I now introduce you as senior person at AGEM?
No, Director of Europe at AGEM, actually. Darren Dorsey is the CEO, so no. But
Okay.
Thank you for the introduction. I don't know about being a big cheese, but...
But everybody likes cheese, don't they?
Yeah, I do, actually. You'll find that one out later.
But I'm not sure you can trust people that don't like cheese.
No.
And even when people are like, oh, but I'm lactose intolerant. Yeah, but it doesn't mean you don't like cheese.
No.
It just means you can't have it.
That's true.
You know, I'm cocaine intolerant, but it doesn't mean I don't want it.
Let's not go there, John.
Also, something I do want to mention, AGEM, and it's this fantastic and bizarre, commonly held, it's almost like an urban legend. It is Association of Gaming Equipment Manufacturers, isn't it?
Correct.
The A does not stand for American.
It does not.
And never has.
No, it does not. And in fact, that was not one of the reasons, but when I was taken on by Marcus Prater, I think in 2011, that was one of the things, as Director of Europe, it was really to acknowledge the fact that it's definitely not an American organisation. It's very much international. I think we have members from 22 countries, and so having somebody on the ground representing them locally was really, really important, which was why I was put into place and took on the role.
Does that mean there's a gap for somebody to form AGEM?
Possibly, but let's not put any ideas in anyone's head there.
No, I was thinking of me. I need a side hustle.
Okay, I thought you got a few of those.
Well, being freelance, everything is a side hustle.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not sure I have a main hustle anymore. Tracy, thank you for agreeing to be with us today. I appreciate it very much. It's good timing to be stranded on a tropical island because you stopped working with TCS fairly recently.
Yes.
It's as good a time as any to get stranded, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So sucks to be you. But to get straight into it, we usually start with the albums. So What's your first album?
So my first album is going to be Songs in the Key of Life, Stevie Wonder.
Oh.
And apart from it being legendary, I'm a bit of a soul R&B girl. but I absolutely love this album. It has not dated in any way. And the reason I chose it was, apart from loving mostly all the tracks, I do remember when it came out, and my dad was really into his music as well, very diverse taste in music. But I remember him buying this on an 8-track, uh, which was these. I don't know if you remember them. I'm showing my age now. Absolutely bloody massive things. And anyway, his was built into his car, which was a Ford Cortina, a kind of orangey yellow one, which was very trendy at the time. And I remember being really excited about being able to like load this track thing in and hearing this great music, and it just resonated, and I just absolutely loved it. Still do. In fact, we went to, I think it must have been 2016. COVID's kind of just altered timelines considerably, but it was 2016, Hyde Park. It was the 40th anniversary of the release of the album, and that also was completely amazing in every way. So yeah, that one for me is an absolute classic. Never
I
fails.
no, nobody's going to disagree with that. Because Stevie Wonder's Purple Patch was like, I'm a big Marvin Gaye fan, a big Isaac Hayes fan. That whole period, so late '60s, early
Yeah,
'70s, there
yeah,
was some extraordinary music.
yeah, yeah,
But actually, Stevie might not be my favorite, but that Purple Patch and the 3 or 4 albums that he put together, you got Innovisions, you got Songs in the
yeah,
Key of
yeah,
Life.
yeah.
Like nobody else comes close to that level of consistency.
No,
It's almost like each album is a best of.
yeah,
It's freakish.
yeah, it is.
And people forget what I mean, he's an amazing singer.
Mm,
But what a musician.
yeah.
What a drummer. I mean,
Oh, and the guy's still doing it. I mean, I think he started when he was 8 or something.
yeah, he's
Um,
really young.
I mean, he was discovered. I used to play one when he was like little Stevie Wonder, and he was his tiny little voice, and just hearing how the guy progressed, and yeah, he's a legend.
Well, he's still touring now. A friend went to
Yeah.
see him in Manchester the other night.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
said it was phenomenal. But
Yeah.
when you've got that back catalogue, you'd hope it'd be good, right?
Yes. Yes. You would. You would.
And it's like you look at the set list for a night like that, even if he does like 2 hours,
Yeah.
just think what he's left out.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Great choice.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you.
I'm fully on board with that.
Good. Do you want the next one?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. George Michael. Probably would choose the album 25 because it covers its greatest hits, and there's a few Wham ones in there. And the reason I chose this, I mean, it's so hard, and obviously that's why you set the questions, because it really makes you think. But I I absolutely loved George Michael. I wasn't a fan when he was Wham, although it was very much sort of part of my formative years and growing up. And he was a North London boy by all extents, which is where I'm from. He went to Bushy Mead School, which is my sister's garden used to overlook the school when she first got married. But he was just. Both of them, Andrew Ridgeley. I mean, no doubt he was the cooler one in the Wham days, but you could see for me I kind of started turning to be a fan. I think Careless Whisper was his sort of pivotal moment away from Wham, or that sort of moving away from the duo. But he started to really gain confidence, and because of my kind of soul R&B vibe that I always tend to veer towards, I just thought, wow, this guy can really, really sing. He's an amazing songwriter, and his whole life was really an open book, because wherever he was and whatever was going on, his music just illustrated that, whether it be good, bad, indifferent, if it was falling in love, falling out of love. But I just thought he was amazing. So
It came out after he died, and he died way too young. But it
yeah,
came out after he died. What a lovely bloke he was.
yeah, yeah.
Really came out.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and didn't do any of it for publicity. That he would literally, we were talking about this the other day actually, where he would just hear something on the radio and they'd be trying to raise money for some child who needed something,
Yeah.
or what have you. And he made everyone swear. He'd phone in and made everyone swear that they didn't let them know it was him that had done it. And he did that over and over and over again.
Similar stories came out after Prince died, didn't they?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
No, I
really,
wasn't
really similar
aware of that.
stories. And it's
Yeah.
just some people weren't content with just making the world better by being amazing at what they did.
No, no, no.
Um,
He was
but
just
my
brilliant.
favourite thing about George Michael was, now bear with me here because when I say that and then the next sentence comes, you're going to think, that's your favourite thing about him. When he was arrested for cottaging in Los Angeles,
Yeah,
his response to that was phenomenal.
yeah,
It was the song and video
yeah,
outside.
yeah,
And I mean, that's one of the greatest music videos to this day that I've ever seen.
yeah. It
It
was
is
brilliant.
funny, it's
Yeah,
challenging, it's
yeah,
so what, fuck you.
yeah. Yeah, exactly,
And it's an amazing song.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
it
still an
is.
amazing. I mean, he actually, like, you think, it's like 2000 or whatever, can George Michael really do disco now? Well, yes, he
Yeah,
can.
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
he was
just
amazing.
good dude.
And it's only when that documentary came out about Wham, a couple of years ago, I think it was. I mean, I was amazed. I lived through all of that, and it was only 5 years that they were together, and then the rest of it was obviously him on his own. But everything about him, I think, is just it's very sad.
Forget how huge not just Wham were, but him solo as well. I mean,
Yeah,
he was properly global.
yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. No, absolutely, it's very cool.
Okay, good shout.
The next one's you might think a bit. Maroon 5, songs about Jane. I just like something. I kept thinking, if I'm going to be on a tropical island, I've got to have something that's going to make me smile, make me want to dance and sing. I love, if I could have a secret power, it would be to sing. I'm a lousy singer, but I absolutely love it. I will belt out anything at any time. Also, dancing just makes me feel good. So when I have something like, if I'm going to listen to music over and over, it's got to be something that always makes me feel happy and uplifted. So that's why I went for this one. I have to say, I mean, I sort of, I struggled. I did struggle with my third choice because I love Marvin Gaye, I love Aretha Franklin, I love all kinds of more recent stuff. So yeah, this was hard, really hard. So I feel this one's kind of I would have possibly chosen other things, but I'm going with this. I'm not indecisive at all, am I?
But it is difficult to limit this to three.
So difficult. So difficult.
Like, obviously, I've done this myself,
Yeah.
or I've thought about this myself.
Yeah.
And like one of my albums is nearly 9 hours long because I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I want something that's going to keep me occupied for a while.
Exactly. But I do. Maroon 5 is they're poppy and what have you, and quite obvious, but they make
Upbeat,
some
sing along.
really, really good songs, and just stuff to get you feeling good. I love Sugar. Sugar is probably one of the best feel good music videos ever made. I don't know if you've seen it.
I have not.
They gate crash all these weddings, and they're the sort of they pretend to be the wedding band, but people don't know, and then you see the curtains come back and they just gate crash. They do a day of gate crashing weddings and surprising guests and things.
Gonna have to watch that.
Yeah, it's cheesy, but it's pretty cool.
But you see, you say like, oh yeah, Maroon 5, they just do this and that. You don't get long periods of success for that being good.
No, and they made some really good music. So yeah, I'm happy.
Well, you say you like to sing and stuff. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, it just depends on the mood. It really does.
Let's assume you're 5 slippery nipples down.
God, you've really, really put me on the spot here. You really, really have.
That is the purpose of what we're doing.
Yeah. I don't know. Possibly I Am Every Woman, Chaka Khan.
Mm-hmm.
I love a bit of We Are Family.
It's a great tune.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll go for anything, John. It depends how drunk I am.
Challenge accepted. Mind you, I haven't done karaoke since the big Vegas karaoke incident that I never talk about.
Oh, I don't know that story, and I thought I knew most of your stories.
If your former colleague Luke Davis is listening to this, he knows the story I mean.
Okay, all right. I'm definitely going to tap him up for that one.
I always said that I would never ever put that story on the podcast, but actually I did it. I did tell that story on the main podcast last year,
Oh, did you? Need to go back and listen then.
and nobody cared.
Oh.
But I was like, I can't tell that story. It's too rude. But apparently, it was fine.
Apparently.
So we got 3 albums.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yes.
So let's go to books.
Books.
Fiction, non-fiction. You can have picture books.
Oh, really? I haven't. My first one is fiction. I Am Pilgrim by Terry Hayes.
I just bought that.
Did you? Have you not read it?
I have not.
Okay. I really enjoyed this book. Apart from it being 900 pages long, which I thought, again, when I've got plenty of time on my hands, this will be a good one to keep me occupied.
I've got stuff that I'm saving for a chronic illness as well.
Oh, great. Well, let's hope that one doesn't come around too quickly. Yeah, I Am Pilgrim, it was very kind of, there's this retired spy that comes out of retirement, and a baddie, and a really good subplot, a really good main plot with some subplots around it. And it was very gripping from the beginning to the end. And the whole time I was reading it, I kept imagining it as a movie.
I was going to say, Hayes was a screenwriter, wasn't he?
Yes. And so I was like dying for this to come out as a movie. Well, I was checking actually just recently, and it was bought, the rights have been bought, but apparently, in Hayes' own words, it's in production hell, and it's been sitting there for a very, very long time. So it's waiting to be made, but not nearly at that point where it can be released, which is a real shame. So after you've read it, I'd like to know what you think. But I absolutely loved it. It was a real page turner, and just the sort of book that you think from a fiction point of view would be a good one to have with you.
Yeah, well, and long as well. It is
long is good.
Perfect tropical island.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that was that one. My next one is a biography, The Churchill Factor, which was written by Boris Johnson. Two very divisive characters. But I really enjoyed the book. I found it informative. It was interesting. You sort of, when you're reading about a historical character, person who had, being British, it's so much part of all of our history, our recent and not so recent history. But the book was really interesting, and he was an amazing character, and it was quite informative. It was witty, obviously, all of those quotes that we all know, and some that we don't. Apparently, they're all true. None of them have been sort of, embellished, for the want of a better word. And I really, really enjoyed it. And I find just Churchill was an amazing character. I mean, you must have seen the movie The Darkest Hour.
That's the Gary Oldman one.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I thought you would have seen that. Are you not a fan then? I take it just with the look in your face, you were like,
Oh no, that's the Boris Johnson factor. No, it's Churchill is fascinating, but that whole period politically is really fascinating.
Yeah.
Because what an awful lot of people either don't know or have forgotten is that at that time prime ministers frequently didn't get second terms, but that there was a gap in between his terms, and he was brought back because of the war, essentially.
But he was vilified. I mean, they all hated him, but the only reason that he got back in is they knew he was probably the man to do the job, which obviously he was. But, the guy was an alcoholic. I mean, he was rude, he was abusive, but I think that's why it just made him a better character.
But that's it. If you're going to make those decisions and be that person, you need serious strength of character. Absolutely. You don't need to be the kind of person who is suffering self-doubt.
Yes, most definitely.
I remember, do you remember there was a Lib Dem leader, probably about 20 years ago, who was like, I mean, he was just a fabulous politician. He had this policy of, and I'm not a Lib Dem voter by any stretch,
Mm.
but he had this policy of just not slagging off what the other parties were doing,
Oh,
rather
really? Who are
just
you
talking
talking
about
about?
what I can't remember his frigging
Not
name, and it's
Paddy
really annoying
Ashton.
me.
No, he wasn't.
No, it's not Buddy
Not Paddy
Ashton.
Ashton.
But this guy, he was outed as a high functioning alcoholic,
Oh, okay.
and it scuppered any plans for progress. But I just thought when that came out, I just thought, as a politician, if that's the worst you've got,
Yeah. Oh, God,
here,
yeah.
here's the keys.
Yeah, I mean, well, the track record we've had over the last few years, I'd say welcome someone like that back, maybe.
God, yes. Here's the keys to the liquor cabinet.
Yeah,
Crack on.
yeah.
Um,
I think you
wow.
need to be an alcoholic to be a prime minister or a leader, don't you?
I think so, but not. I don't think for the reasons that people think. I think people think, oh, it's a high pressure job. It's difficult to cope. It's nonstop. I think that probably the reason that you need the booze is because the people around you are probably quite dull.
Yeah, probably.
And I think it's just it's hey, there's a party in my brain.
Yeah, there you go.
I might be wrong. Third book, Tracy.
Not a book, but again, I've kind of stretched the brief a little bit.
Is it
as
a
I
picture
want to
calendar,
do.
something like that?
No, Encyclopedia Britannica. So, I'll tell you why I've gone for this, and I sound a real nerd, geek, whatever. But I firstly, I think there's 32 volumes. So, and it's not in print anymore. So I'm going to struggle with this one. I'd have to go with an old one. And I thought, when I started looking, I thought, well, John's going to say you cannot have 32 volumes because that really is stretching the brief. So there is a concise volume one, which has got 28,000 short articles in. So if I'm going to stick to the brief again, then I'll go for that one.
I'm not against you having all 32 volumes.
Okay. Well, that'd be amazing because apparently if you read them from beginning to end, it would take you 153 days.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, there's 33,000. I'm going to give you a fun fact: 32 volumes, 33,000 pages, 44 million words, and 153 days.
Wow.
And that's why I kind of love the idea of an encyclopedia because I'm just inquisitive about, probably people would say a whole load of rubbish, but things that are factual, but not necessarily, there's no
Sorry, Tracy.
You didn't listen to your own instructions, did you?
I'm going to pop that into flight safe mode. A little interruption from Public Enemy there. But something that you won't know.
Well,
You're the second person to choose encyclopedias.
am I?
Yeah.
Who was the first?
Which is crazy. Earl Hall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he tells this lovely story about his mum getting a loan to get the encyclopedias for him.
That is
It's just
cute.
gorgeous.
I haven't got anything as romantic or as
No, but you do.
That, but there's something about having information that just not even fun facts. That's a really lame
books
word.
And being able to look shit up.
Exactly.
I love a set of encyclopedias. Yeah. But you've brought up something really interesting there, and something that I think is one of the most undervalued facets of a character. Like if I were hiring now, one of the key things I would be looking for in a potential hire is curiosity. Not necessarily about what we're doing, just general curiosity about the world. Because those are the people who will be like, you'll be sitting in a meeting and you'll say, oh shit, how do we do this? Yeah. They go, oh, well, I was reading an article a couple of months ago and blah, blah.
I am a bit like that. I just come out with just stuff, random stuff. And I think it is because I will pick up anything and read it. Just because
I'm exactly the same.
Interesting. When you asked me this, I was actually looking back thinking, God, I haven't really properly read for quite a long time. I haven't really had time, and I know that's a really lame excuse, but the last couple of years have been extremely busy for me. And I do enjoy reading, but it's a bit like I love a good movie, but I'm not so good at watching a series because I find I have to devote so much time to it. And I then become stressed, like, oh God, I've got to watch another one, or I've got to finish it, or I've got to get through whatever
Mm.
this season. Whereas I can take a bite size of, an hour and a half, watch a really good film, and I'm done. And I kind of feel that that's how I am with books at the moment. I haven't fallen out of love with them, but that's why also Encyclopedia Britannica, I thought, yeah, perfect for
Well,
me.
for a lot of, even for me, and I read loads, it's still cyclical. But what I've
Yes,
got, I've got a big stack of books by the bed.
yeah.
I've
Are they
got
propping
loads.
anything up?
No, not yet. I've
Not
got
yet.
propping up the ceiling soon. Um, I've got a load of stuff on the Kindle. The
Yeah,
Kindle stuff tends to be stuff that I wouldn't dream of buying.
right.
And it's just, which way am I going?
Yeah, yeah,
Where if my brain's feeling a little bit fried, then I'll just be like, I'm going to read, and I fucking hate this term, but I'm going to use it because you'll know what I'm talking about. I'll go with some chick lit.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's a bit like, oh, as I said, like the movie thing, just something easy,
very, very easy to pick up in little
digest.
bites.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally, and
Do you
it
struggle
all
with a
has its place.
Kindle? I love a Kindle, but I forget what I'm reading because I can't see the cover, and
Yeah, and I have
it's
to
a
tap the thing
really
on top to see what the name of the book is.
and that's really frustrating because I've got really
Yes.
good memory usually, but I find they all get lost. So I
Mm,
love a Kindle because it's good and it's good for traveling and it's compact and easy to move around. But you do forget what you're sort of involved in.
totally. I was never going to get a Kindle because I love a book,
Yeah,
but my brother got one, and he actually convinced me that it would be a good idea. Because like when we would do Vegas and do G2E,
mm.
like before I was driving, for example, I get through a book on the train because the train journey was
Yeah,
the best part of 4 or 5 hours, and then I'd get through a book overnight at the hotel or whatever,
mm.
and then waiting for the plane, and then I'd get through another book on the flight,
Jesus,
and then I'd
read a
probably
lot.
do another 2 or 3 while I'm there,
Yeah,
and then so I'm taking 11, 12 books to Vegas.
yeah. So you've got no
Which,
space for clothes because you already
no,
reached your limit.
I only ever took one pair of underpants to Vegas.
I wonder what that was about.
True story. So it's very difficult.
And you can
And,
pick it up and read it in the night. I find sometimes if I can't sleep, they're quite good to
well,
read. It's
do
not
you
what
know?
you're supposed to do because it's the
No,
worst.
that honestly, that's not true.
Mm. Oh,
It's
really?
100% not. Yeah, it's not true. I'll come back to the second sleep concept in a minute.
Okay.
My favorite thing about the Kindle is on baking hot nights like we've had recently in the
Yeah.
UK,
Yeah.
you want to sleep with the window open. But if I sleep with the window open and I put the light on, I will be feasted upon by
Oh,
biting
yes.
insects.
Yes.
Kindle, don't need the light on.
No.
No biting insects.
No.
Window is open.
Yeah.
Oh.
That does make a lot of good sense, John.
So back in the day, right, the earliest published use of this phrase was in the diary of Samuel Pepys. And the phrase is second sleep. What people used to accept is you're going to wake up at some point in the night.
Okay.
So wake up, 15th, 16th century, whenever. They'd wake up, light a candle, go for a shit, have sex, play a game, read a book.
Yeah.
Just accept it.
Mm.
Do something nice
Yeah.
until they're tired again. Then they go back to sleep and have their second sleep.
I love a second sleep, but we'll get to that in a minute.
I'm a huge fan, but it's only in relatively recent times, advent of electricity and all that jazz, that we beat ourselves up about waking up in the night. And so I'm totally subscribing to that. The Kindle's always by the bed,
Yeah.
and I'll just do
Makes
something.
sense. Yeah, does make sense. Does make sense. I like a second sleep because I find I get in a really deep. It's not good on a work day, but now I'm a lady more of leisure. You get back into that deep sleep, and I also have like crazy dreams as well in a second sleep. But you wake up feeling really good.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know why. It's just
It doesn't even have to be long, though.
No, it doesn't. No,
Yeah,
it's a weird one.
big fan.
Yeah, good.
Big fan. Okay, great books. Now we're getting into the real meat. 3 movies.
Okay, so my first movie is the Thomas Crown Affair.
Which one?
The newer one, the 1999. Yes, I knew you were going to be surprised by this. Now, it's like the classic is the Stephen
No,
Queen, Faye
it's
Dunaway one.
good, but
The reason I love the second one is I absolutely adored Rene Russo in this film.
everybody says that about this film.
Was fucking awesome. She was sassy. Firstly, she looked amazing. The costumes, her clothes were to die for. I'm really into any kind of fashion, but she looked incredible, and her character was brilliant. I loved how she had all these men kind of and this isn't an indication of me, I want to say, but she had everyone running around her. There was one scene where she drinks this green gunk, a sort of a good juice in the morning, and then she just burped at the end of it. She looks like a lady, but she could get down and dirty. And I think her and Pierce Brosnan, the film got panned a lot because everyone was comparing it to the original that was very, very good. But everyone said they didn't have chemistry, but I thought that they did, and I quite liked it. It was a bit more kind of tongue-in-cheek, which Pierce Brosnan brought to his Bond role as well. He always has that kind of crafty glint in his eye. And I felt that they both played it really well. And it's just one of those films I can watch over and over again. So I know that it's not everyone's choice, but you're asking me what mine is, and I would choose that.
100%, and great reasons. There is one movie where Pierce Brosnan does not have a glint in his eye.
Which is?
Do you remember The Long Good Friday?
Oh, that's a great film.
It is. And Pierce Brosnan is a part of the greatest closing scene, certainly the greatest credit scene I can remember in any movie.
I'm trying to think back to that now.
Well, he's very young in it.
Yes. Well, it's a very old film now.
Yeah, it's about 1979, I think.
Yeah.
And he is kind of an IRA hitman. And they get Bob Hoskins in the back of the car and drive off, and they look around at him, and then he realizes he's fucked.
Yeah.
And the entire credit sequence is just Bob Hoskins sitting in the back.
Yeah.
Resigned to the fact that he's about to die.
Yeah.
It's a stunner.
That was a great film. Oh, that's one to remember. The problem is there's so many bloody good films. And
it's annoying.
This was tough for me. As I said, I will watch movies all the time. I absolutely love them, anything and everything. So
I'm the same.
Yeah, I do.
But I have a weird thing. So I went to the cinema last night, right?
Yeah.
And I went to a preview screening of a new horror movie. It's out next week or the week after.
I don't like horrors anymore, but yeah. What was it?
It's called Bring Her Back.
Okay.
Did you see a movie called Talk to Me a couple of years ago?
No, I didn't see it, but I remember it being released. Yeah.
Talk to Me is fantastic.
Okay.
It's really, really good. And it's the second film by the same guys. It's two young brothers, twins, Australians.
Okay.
And this one's got Sally Hawkins in, who is generally a sign of quality.
Yes.
And she is extraordinary in it.
Okay.
And we were watching it, and my mate's like, it reminded me a bit of Hereditary. And I said, I haven't seen Hereditary yet. He's like, why the fuck haven't you seen Hereditary yet? It's like the best horror movie of the century so far.
Okay.
I said, I know it. I'm sure it is. And it's got Toni Collette in it.
Oh, okay. And she's great.
Even shit films with Toni Collette in are worth
good.
watching because she's so incredible.
Yeah, she's good.
But the point is, I've never seen Hereditary because I know I'll really like it.
Only you can come out and say that.
So I'll watch things I'm not sure about instead.
Yeah. The obvious ones you're not interested in.
I'm saving Hereditary for that chronic illness.
Please don't say that.
I'm sure I'm going to love it.
Just like a sabbatical or something instead.
I'm a freelance plate spinner. I don't get sabbaticals.
Okay, all right. We'll come up with a better thing than that.
That's for top executives like Fenton Costello, my co-host on the Gambling Files podcast. Wow. I will watch just about anything. I still love teen movies.
Yeah.
Like I recently watched they did a Bring It On sequel last Halloween, and it was a Halloween themed Bring It On sequel, and I sat through that and I loved it. And I watch some real shit to the point where my friends don't bother watching recommendations of mine now.
I wonder why.
But just like, yeah, it's probably gonna. My brother, like, I went to see Pitch Perfect.
Oh, I
In
enjoyed that.
I
It's
went I
silly,
went to see
but I
that
enjoyed
at G. I was at G2E,
it. Yeah.
and obviously you must know who Paul Spears is.
Yes.
So I said to Paul Spears, "This film I really want to see
Mm.
at the cinema. Do you want to go see it?" And he said, "Fuck it, yeah, give it a go." So we went to watch Pitch Perfect,
Imagining
and
you two watching Pitch
it,
Perfect.
it wasn't like the opening night, but it was one of the first few nights,
Yeah.
and the cinema was full,
Okay.
and like
Of
the
teen
vibe in the
girls.
cinema, yes, there's basically teen girls and me and Paul Spears.
You're lucky you didn't get arrested.
Well, yeah, it did feel slightly. I felt vulnerable.
Mm.
But like, I loved the film. I laughed my ass off. Paul laughed his ass off. We both really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was talking to my brother because every 2 years there's a packaging expo in Vegas. My brother works in the packaging industry, so every 2 years I see him in Vegas.
Okay.
Or that used to be the way anyway,
Yeah.
pre-COVID. And I saw him, and I went to the cinema the other night. What'd you see? I saw Pitch Perfect. He said, "What's that?" I told him about it. I said, "It's the funniest film I've seen in fucking years." Like, I laughed my ass off. He said, "I'll give it a go." I see him in the UK a year or so later, and yeah, he's still not
Great.
forgiven me.
No.
He still brings it up with his
Well, he must have
sons.
been going thinking he was going to see something completely different.
Well, you look at the marketing for it. You're not going to. You get what it says.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, he told all of his sons that I'd recommended it to him, and they do these little side eyes when I recommend anything new.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good as Pitch Perfect,
Yeah.
is it? Who doesn't like Pitch Perfect, Tracy?
I don't know. Well, your brother is one.
I don't know.
Anyway.
It's like people that don't like cheese.
Yes.
So, what's your next movie?
My next movie was possibly one of the greatest movies I think I've seen. It was called The Intouchables. And
Okay, this is the French one.
it's a French subtitled film about a wealthy paraplegic. And when one of my friends told me, because she said, "You've got to watch this film," and she described it as I just said, and I looked at her. It was a bit like one of your recommendations.
Yeah, I was thinking that while you were saying. I was thinking,
But I've got
how
to
do you
tell
pitch
you, I
this?
mean, every single cast member was amazing. I think it was the first time I'd seen Omar Sy, who is the guy who played Lupin. Did you ever see that on Netflix?
I'm aware of it, but it looked too good to watch.
No. Oh, you're saving that one as well for your illness. No, the film was amazing. The soundtrack is fantastic. I mean, just amazing. There's classical music, but there's all my favourites. There's Earth, Wind and Fire, September, Boogie Wonderland. There's George Benson, Nina Simone. But the story is, I'm kind of brushing over how good the plot is. It's essentially about this very wealthy guy. I think he I can't remember actually how he became a paraplegic. I don't know if it was a ski accident or something happened. Could have been a car accident. And the Omar Sy, whose name is Dress in the film, he has just come out of prison, and from a probation point of view, he's got to get a job, and they assign him to be a carer of this wealthy paraplegic who has got rid of all of his. He has a nurse who's also brilliant in it, and he's got rid of everybody. And Driss comes in and they interview each other, and he's there just as a formality, the ex-convict, just because I've got to do this, I'll get my hours and then I'm going to go. And something happens, and the first meeting's not great, but then after that, some spark sort of comes with this guy, or I can't remember actually. I need to watch it again, exactly how they got back together again. But then the whole film centres on their relationship, and a very unlikely relationship, two people from completely different spheres. And it's brilliant. The chemistry in it is amazing. Everything about the film, I'd advise anyone to go and watch it. It's fabulous.
It's worth pointing out, though, for the record, there's really not a lot of point in watching the American remake.
Yeah. I didn't know that there was one, and I would not watch it because this one is ace, and there's no way
It's
of
one of
matching
those.
it.
It's definitely one of those instances where there was zero point in remaking it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, but there's a long history of French remakes being hugely successful. But the thing that I love about French cinema, and I do love French cinema, is that French writers and directors make films for French people.
Well, yeah, the French tend to do most things for their own benefit.
But
I'm not
but
being too
but a
politically
lot
correct
of
there.
a lot of countries, a lot of creative industries, and a lot of countries, they're thinking
Oh,
commercial. They're thinking, will it sell in
yeah,
America? Will it
yeah,
sell in China? The
yeah.
French
They
don't
don't
do
care.
that,
No, they don't give a shit.
and that makes unique cinema.
Yeah.
It's the same for Korean films. Korean horror films are absolutely fucking unique.
Really.
Almost every great Japanese horror film that you can think of, well, not you specifically, almost every great Japanese horror film you can think of is actually a remake of a Korean horror film.
Okay.
And but you look at, I mean, some really huge hits, some really huge American hits. Three Men and a Baby is a famous
Yeah. Oh, was
remake
that
of a
French
French
first?
movie.
I didn't know that.
But there's all sorts going back, 70 odd years. And some of them came out really shit.
Yeah. Well, I
Quite a
wouldn't.
lot of them.
This one was so perfect in every way, and I'm not a great fan of subtitles at all because they're just, sometimes you just, I don't know. I'm not that I have a bad attention span, but I just wasn't sure it would grab me. But it did from the minute I started watching it, and it's the sort of film you can watch over and over. It is amazing.
Do you know what they call films with subtitles in Norfolk?
No.
They call them readies.
Do they really? That sounds almost Australian, and no disrespect to any Australians here, but really? Okay.
Yeah. I was living in Norwich, and I said to this chap I know, movies on at the cinema, should go see it. He's like, oh no, that one, no, it's a reedy.
It's a reedy. Okay, I'll remember that.
Okay. So we've only had two of your movies.
We've
haven't
only
we,
had
so
two,
far?
yeah. The last one, again, if
I'm looking forward to this.
if I'm on this tropical island, I'm going to have something that reminds me of my family because I'm very family orientated.
It's going to be Cannibal Holocaust, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. This film, we've got a lot of family films that we watch, and it's kind of our thing. And there's all these kind of we recite lines from things. But anyway, I had a list of ones, but I'm going for Keeping Mum, which I don't know if you've ever seen this, but it is quintessentially British in every single way. It stars Rowan Atkinson, Maggie Smith, Kristen Scott Thomas, Tamsin Egerton, and actually, weirdly, Patrick Swayze's in it as well. He's like the rogue.
God love Patrick Swayze.
It was everything about this film. It's based in a village called Little Wallop, which I just love. And Rowan Atkinson is a very he's a very uninteresting at the beginning priest, reverend, and Kristen Scott Thomas is having an affair with a half-hearted affair with the golf pro who's Patrick Swayze, and Maggie Smith turns up as the nanny. And her story, I can tell you the plot, but I don't want to ruin it because I'd say go watch it. It is brilliant. It's funny. It's black comedy. It's got a bit of everything, and the cast is tip top.
I do love a good black comedy. In fact, when we were talking about French films, I was remembering I used to do some projection, not blaming other people for things I'd done.
I was wondering where this was going.
But in the assembly rooms in Ludlow, and one of the films that I projected was this absolutely bizarre French film called Tati Danielle.
Okay.
And it was basically, it's about a little old French lady who's absolutely fucking sick of being alive. And the entire movie is her trying to off herself and her family trying to stop her. It's fantastic. It's so good. But it's not one that you see around much anymore.
Oh, I wonder why.
And it's very French.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Well, this one isn't, and it's not a very well known, but it's one of our family films. We watch it a lot, and it's the sort of thing you can watch over and over. It's just very entertaining. It's very good, so I would recommend it.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Always nice to get a recommendation on here.
Yeah, well, it's and it wasn't an obvious one. I mean, we do have the Parent Traps one which is Lindsay Lohan, which sounds awful, but
No, it's really good.
it's a great film. Love that. That's a real family film.
I mean, that remake of Freaky Friday they did, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't bad.
I like that, but then Jamie Lee
Yeah,
Curtis,
yeah, yeah,
she's fantastic.
yeah. She's
Love her.
really cool. Yeah.
So now you've got one song which isn't on any of the albums.
Yeah, this was a toughie, and I do have a song which is my favourite, which I haven't actually put as this song because, well, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But I actually, when you asked me to do this, of course, I did a little bit of research and I listened to some of your other guests, and I think it was Water that said Water Bungalow, yeah,
Bunyo.
Bunyo. Apologies, Water. That he wanted a song that reminded him of his family. And I kind of, if you're on your own and you want to be reminded of your family, which I would, and I'd want something that I could sing to, I could dance to, and just makes me feel pretty good. And again, it's a family song. Is This Will Be by Natalie Cole. I think Everlasting Love, yeah. It's just that's from the Parent Trap, and that's just one of those songs. Again, that's a karaoke. I'd do that one.
Wow.
I would. I wouldn't do it well. I'd probably slaughter the life out of it, but I would do it. Otherwise, September, Earth, Wind and Fire, I love, but that's in my movie. That's in the Intouchables, so that I can watch that and listen to that whenever I want. And there's some great songs on that soundtrack. But my favourite song is really usually Alicia Keys, If I Ain't Got You.
Okay, I don't know.
It's one of her most famous, but it's quite melancholy. So that's why I went for the Natalie Cole one.
I love a bit of melancholy music.
I know, but that's where you and I differ a bit.
I mean, yeah, oof. if anybody listened to the stuff that I listen to generally, they'd think maybe we should stage an intervention.
Yeah.
A lot of melancholy instrumental, but I think that what it is, I'm balancing myself out because I'm so happy inside.
Is that okay? Okay, all right. Because otherwise, you'd just be too much of an effervescent.
I'd be fucking
ball of
annoying.
Fizz.
I'd be fucking annoying. I'd be like one of those like. Oh God, I was about to diss an entire religious group.
No, don't go there, John.
I do actually. There's a lady who comes to help me out. It's like if I'm out late or whatever, she'll come and walk the dog for me. And she is the most positive person I think I've ever met.
Sometimes that's annoying, though, isn't it?
But the lady that recommended her to me is maybe a little more like me, a little bit more quite low key. Mm-hmm. And she sent me this lady's number and said, give this lady a try, give Jenny a try. And then the next text that came through was, she's a bit positive though.
I love that. That's what you.
Might be good, might be bad. Dog loves her though, so what am I going to do? Okay, one pet, which I know is a contentious one for you.
It is because I think I explained to you earlier, I was, as a child, allergic to animal fur, so I couldn't go near anything. And we found this out because one Christmas I was round at our neighbour's house and had this big ball of fluff of a cat, and I sat there stroking the life out of this cat all afternoon, and my eye, when we left, my whole face was disfigured beyond belief. And I think it happened one more time because we weren't sure what it was, and then I went and had all these tests and said, yeah, definitely allergic to all animal fur. So that meant rabbits, guinea pigs, dogs, cats, all the usual childhood kind of pets I never was able to have. And that then carried on when I had my own kids, and much to their disdain. So we kind of did a deal one time, and I said, okay, you can have a pet. We went to the fair, and they came home with 2 goldfish. of which they named. I allowed them, of course, to name them. One was called Alice and one was called Flower. So I have basically
Flower.
yeah, I had two girls. What can I tell you? So yeah, so I've kind of really marked this one up because I don't have a pet, and I've given you two there that aren't really pets, and they didn't last. They didn't last longer than 2 weeks, and ended up where most goldfish do, which is down the loo. So
It's a shame because goldfish can live a really long time.
can they? Not one
Yeah.
from the fair.
Well, I mean, they are slightly hamstrung,
Yeah.
but goldfish can live a very, very long time.
Okay.
But the thing about Flower, you saying, well, I've got two girls. Well, my cat is downstairs, and I think Bernard Pickle, my cat, would love to have a chat with you about the perils of allowing your children to name pets. He's been in the vets recently, and they're always like, "Oh, is that Pickle?" I'm like, "Who?" And they check their notes and they go, "Bernard Pickle." Yes, that's him. I make the vet say his full name.
Oh.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Well, exactly, because
Where's the fun in
one
that?
one has got real substance, the other one doesn't have much. So
Exactly. There's dignity in Bernard
I
Pickle.
believe so.
If you met him, you'd probably be.
Yeah, well, I couldn't really get too close, so that wouldn't be good. I could say hello from a distance.
Yeah, you know what animals are like, though. I'm sure you've experienced this. They head straight for the one with the allergy.
Animals and children, if you don't like them, they make a beeline. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do like children. I need to point that out. I'm not putting those two in the same sentence for myself. But
I've always been lucky in that children generally find me terrifying.
I wonder why.
Why doesn't he smile, Mummy?
Yeah.
Because you're here.
Because he's positive inside and he doesn't want to be too.
Yeah. I don't want to come across like some happy clappy buffoon.
Exactly.
So now you've got one object.
Yeah, this was easy. This was really easy. And regardless of the fact that I'm on a tropical island, because even tropical islands do get colds and very cold at night, I have chosen a hot water bottle. And I take my hot water bottle everywhere with me because invariably I'm always freezing cold. Hands and feet especially. Terrible.
Oh, do you get that? Is it Raynaud's?
No, I don't. But I do sometimes in winter. If I were to hold my hand up, the tips go a bit white. But my friend's got it, and she's got it really badly. It's nasty. But
I know a lot of people that claim to have it.
Yeah. I'm not good when I'm cold. I get grumpy, and I know no one else is there, but it wouldn't be good for me to be grumpy. So I would definitely take my hot water.
I'm slightly the opposite. I get grumpy when I'm warm.
Do you? Yeah, no, I'd take warm over cold any day.
I think it's probably because I'm dead inside.
I'm not saying anything. There's lots of stuff going on inside, John, is all I can say.
It's all fueled by anger. Okay, now one of the big ones now, you get to choose one dessert.
Yes. So again, nothing's really straightforward for me, is it? But and going back to our discussions, I don't have a sweet tooth. So invariably I would skip dessert, but I would always go for a cheese plate. Every time. Do like a cheese plate. And I do like a good pickle or relish on the side. My thing at the moment is fig jam. I do like fig jam. Cheese is pretty cool. I like the whole, I don't mind if it's in a fancy restaurant. I quite like the whole choosing of it. But if it isn't, I'll happily just go for plain, simple stuff as well. I just like cheese.
Well, what would be on your favourite cheese board? What would be on your dream cheese board?
Oh, I like a good cheddar, mature, Emmental. I like. Every now and again, I'm not a great lover, but I'll go for a real stinky, like a stinking bishop. You ever had that?
Yeah.
Really smelly. Like a goat's cheese. A good Stilton is always good for me. Breast blue, which is kind of a soft blue cheese, French blue cheese. I don't know. I'm pretty indiscriminate. I'll go with most things.
So as long as it's called cheese.
Yeah, I do. I just really enjoy it. I think if you pushed me and said cheese isn't allowed because it's not really a dessert.
No, I'm not going to be saying
No,
that.
okay. Well, I would choose ice cream. I do like a good Italian gelato, and it would probably be pistachio. I would go for in a
Huh?
cone. Yeah.
Okay. You're definitely allowed cheese.
Okay. Good.
Nobody's going to be
All right.
banning cheese on this
You'd
island.
have to eat it quite quickly though, because it might go a bit soft.
No, because you probably find a fridge somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Be fine.
There was all these questions. I was talking to my daughters about this on Sunday. We went out and I was telling them I was doing this, and my eldest, who's literally attached to her phone, and she does it with her. She's in marketing, social media for her job, so that's her excuse. But she said, hands down, I'd take my phone, and I said, you're not allowed your phone.
Yeah, we're definitely not doing phones.
No. But there would be electricity, possibly.
There would be there'd be like a power monkey or something around, so
Okay.
you can use the sun,
Yeah.
to charge things. Can I just give you a top cheese recommendation?
Yes, please.
So there's this cheese making place in North Shropshire near Whitchurch called Belmont Farms, and I'm sure it's one of those cute names. It's probably a fucking industrial unit.
Yeah.
But they do a cheese which I've never had a cheese like it.
Okay.
It is available now. It's available in most supermarkets. The big one is called Red Fox.
Okay, sounds interesting.
They also do one called White Fox. So I've never liked Red Leicester.
Oh, haven't you? Okay.
Don't see what the fuss is about.
Oh, I like it.
And of course, Red Leicester exists only because of World War II, bizarrely.
I did not know this.
It's a surplus of anatone.
Okay.
And so they added it because it didn't change the flavour of the cheese. They just had this shitty cheese. They wanted to make it a bit more interesting. Dump the anatone in.
Let's put some bread in it.
Jobs are good. And, oh, look, red cheese. But Red Fox is like, it's got crunch.
Oh, okay.
It's incredibly creamy to finish. I mean, it is all cheeses in one.
Okay.
It's amazing.
And
but they do
in the supermarket. You say I'm going to try that.
and they do a white Leicester version of it as well,
Okay.
which is basically exactly the same but without the colouring. And they do a smoked version, which if you're a fan of smoked salmon, smoked Red Fox is
a smoked salmon cheese. Wow. I'm not a great smoked cheese lover, actually. My husband loves it. That's the one that I probably would pass on.
This unusual. So a lot of smoked cheeses aren't smoked; they have smoke flavoring added.
Yeah.
This is actually smoked.
Okay.
And that's the difference. And it is beautiful. It's one of those cheeses where it's like if it was a wine, it would be one that you would sip.
Okay.
It's so full. I'm a big fan, and I'm not just bigging them up because they're a Shropshire cheese maker. I'm bigging them up because it's indescribably good cheese.
Okay.
And if I go to G2E, anybody that's listening and anybody wants to try some Red Fox, drop me a line and I'll see if I can bring some with me.
Ooh,
I won't tell customs.
No, be careful you don't get stopped.
Oh fuck! If any customs officers are listening, obviously I'm joking.
I'm not carrying,
No. Just hide it in my sock.
Yeah.
Okay, now we get to arguably the most difficult questions. You've got two pieces of advice. One from your older self to your younger self. The other one from your younger self to your older self.
Yes.
So let's kick off with older to younger, because that is the easier one.
Yeah, it is. I thought about this, obviously, a lot. And I think one of the things that I was guilty of when I was young, or younger, I should say, is I try to be a people pleaser. I will so my piece of advice would be to listen to my inner voice, because 9 times, like your gut, really, 9 times out of 10, whenever I felt really strongly about something and I haven't said anything because I thought I would be stirring the pot or coming across as, just too belligerent, I don't know. I've always gone along with it, and then 9 times out of 10, I've always wanted to kick myself because I just thought I should have had the balls to just say no or this is how it needs to be. I don't feel comfortable, or I want it this way, or what have you. So I'm always, I was always trying to be a people pleaser, I think, and that's also with age. You get confidence, you get experience. But yeah, I would definitely tell my younger self.
I think that's great advice, and I think it's something that people second guess themselves all too often instead of trusting those instincts,
Yeah.
because your instincts evolved to keep you alive
Mm.
and in one piece,
Mm.
and they're there for a really good reason.
Yeah.
And the reasons that you're thinking the things that you're thinking are a whole load of subconscious cues and
Yeah.
things that you could not possibly explain,
I know.
but they're real.
Oh,
And
very much so. And it's funny because you just know it. And even when I've done it, and I remember times where I was thinking, I'm really not happy with this. I should say something. But I think, as I said, that's age. You get to that point where, I mean, I remember when I got to 50 and I remember thinking, this is going to be my fuck it years. I just don't care anymore. I'm just going to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And, and
do you
not to
think
that, I'm always, I'm always conscious of other people's feelings and things like that. I won't, just do things in a bad way, but I think I've got a lot better at being much more steadfast and just having the confidence to say no.
I, I think I, I think I think we learn to trust ourselves.
Mm, yeah,
Um, but actually, we could probably trust ourselves far younger than we do.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, now that I'm in my 50s,
yeah.
I'm trying to give a fuck, so I'm doing it the other way around.
Yeah, you have always been opposite.
It's not going great. I've got to be honest. It's a very difficult thing to learn.
Yeah, I would say doing it the other way is much easier to not. Yeah, not do
If only I'd thought this through
it. Yeah.
when I was born.
Maybe your younger self should have spoken to your older self, or vice versa. Your older self should have spoken to your younger self sooner.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Speaking of which,
yeah,
what advice would you give the other way around?
yeah. This one is hard. This one is hard, but and because everything that I thought of, I thought, well, my older self, you learn from experience, so it would be very, very hard for your younger self to do that, because I know this. My thing to my older self would be that age is just a number. You don't ever have to grow up, conform, do what anyone else thinks just because you're a certain stage of your life. And would my younger self be able to tell my older self that? I don't know. But that, I believe, is a good piece of advice, because I certainly don't intend to conform, and I definitely want to grow old disgracefully. So that's the way I'm kind of going about it.
Is that going well?
It's going great. Yeah.
What do you think are the keys to doing that? Not necessarily the disgracefully part, but the sort of keeping a young outlook.
Um, I, for me personally, I kind of live every day. I don't try and wait for things anymore. I think if I want to do it now. Seize the moment. Just do it. And it doesn't matter whether someone thinks that you should do it or not. Again, this sort of worrying about pleasing others is something that you don't need to do. But it's also giving joy to spending more time with family. You just realize, I think, obviously, the whole morality thing does start kicking in, and you realize, I've had personally, I've lost parents. My husband's lost both of his parents now. He's also had a big health scare. All of these things just really give some good focus on what's important and what isn't. And I think that there's so much other noise and fluff and rubbish that people think are important. It's like, it really, really isn't. Just enjoy, just have fun. And I think having fun keeps you young, keeps you busy, keeps you learning, and just forever changing. I don't want to be somebody who gets stuck in their ways and becomes old and grumpy like most people tend to do when they get older.
Which also I am working on.
Yeah, I thought you might say that.
There's a great well, it's the end of a routine by Bill Hicks. Do you remember Bill Hicks?
No.
He was a phenomenal comedian, died way too young. And he finished one routine, might have been his Revelations tour. He was American,
Okay.
and nobody in America's heard of him,
Oh.
but he was huge in the UK.
Okay.
And he says at the end of this thing, he says, "Is there a point to this?" I think there's a point. He says basically, it's just a ride. And we're all experiencing it, and it's beautiful, and it's exciting, and it's scary, but it's just a ride.
Yeah.
And the people that tell us that, the people that are able to look at it objectively and say, "Hey, guess what? It's just a ride." We kill those people.
Yeah.
And they're killed by people who are like, "Oh, look at my furrowed brow, look at my big bank balance. This just has to be real. This has to be important." I'm trying to explain to my kids, and this is a real reach with children, but I'm trying to teach my kids that money is imaginary.
Yeah.
That borders are arbitrary. That in fact we're all fairly similar. We're all doing the same thing. Yeah. So, you hear once, but I think everybody should own a dog at some point. Allergies allowing.
Yeah.
Because there's something about dogs and how incredibly immediate they are. A dog will eat something, have terrible diarrhea later, and not connect the two at all. Because they're eating it because they wanted to eat it because it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And later on, there's I fancy
sort the consequences. Yeah.
I fancy spraying this around the garden now. But that immediacy, that dog thing, that let's do this now. Yeah. Fuck the weather. Let's go out for a walk. And
it's so important, and that is something you only kind of really grasp properly. Because when you're younger, you just seem to have so much time to do anything and everything. So you do tend to focus on
energy.
Yeah. 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 It's all in your mind, John. You can do it.
Do you know what they say, though? Youth is wasted on the young.
It is. It is. It is. And that was a quote I was thinking of before, because that is, I know it's really, really corny, but it's really true. It's really true. And I just never realised. You know what I also wish? I wish I would have spent more time with like my grandparents and people like that, actually learning about their lives and things that they did and the whole kind of history thing. I think now that really fascinates me, and there's not many people left for me to ask those questions.
No,
so
it's true.
I think that aspect as well is something that I think I wish I would have done a bit more of that.
But yeah, Steven Spielberg took that to a huge extreme, and he's been making that colossal archive.
Yeah. But he made the film about his family life as well, didn't he? He did. He's an amazing.
But he's been making I think it's called the Holocaust Archive.
Okay.
And it's getting everybody's oral histories of their experiences.
Wow.
And he's been doing that for at least 30 years.
Wow. And that's so important. That is really important, especially now.
100%. Especially now, because that generation is largely gone.
Yeah.
And, mankind does tend to repeat its mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, I think not having those voices and those people around us, who do we have?
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But not to finish on a downer.
No. Because you're a positive person, and this is yours.
Am I going to be somebody like, what was her name, Jenny? I hopefully I'm not annoying. It's Jenny.
To compare yourself to Jenny.
Well, nobody can compare to Jenny. Sorry, I didn't mean to diss her at all, or give myself more kudos than I deserved.
Bumped into Jenny yesterday, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh, Jenny doesn't work for you anymore, or come and do stuff for you anymore?
No, she's walking the dog later actually
Oh,
because I've got
okay.
to go and grab a van and move some furniture around. But yeah, she I bumped into her. She pulled over by the side of the road and she came over, say hello to the dog and have a chat and was really sunny and smiley and all of that. Oh, it's exhausting.
Yeah, I don't know. I prefer to be that way. That's me.
I'll just be that way inside.
Yeah, I'll always remember that. However, whenever I see you, know that you're
Honestly, right?
something.
No word of a lie. I am relentlessly optimistic.
Good.
It takes an awful lot to bring me down.
Does it?
But what I don't do is I don't show
Show
it
it.
here.
Well, that's okay. That's good. That doesn't.
Works
You
for
don't
me.
have to be sunny and happy and smiley all the time. I think that would be really annoying, actually.
Yeah, but people tend to be
Yeah,
facile about these things, don't
yeah,
they?
they do.
They're well, what do I know? What do I know, Tracy Cohen? I don't know. Well, Tracy, thank you so much for joining us,
Thank you for having
and
me. I think.
some fascinating choices. And as always, I'm surprised. So
Yeah, do you know what? Well, I bet a lot of your guests will say that if you had to do this again, you'd probably come up with a whole host of slightly different ones. Not all, but as I said, there were a few that I struggled with, so I probably would change. But
I think even thinking about mine, I think the only thing if I did mine that would never change would be the song. I think
mm,
everything else, it's where you're
yeah, it
at that
is.
moment,
It
isn't it?
is. Yeah, totally.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, John.